Hi, precious heart. Thank you for joining us for our weekly vlog. For about the last 45 years, in my experience, there have been people that have been talking about the infinite, imminent financial shift that is going to be taking place, where debt is forgiven and the wealth is distributed through all humanity. And I know that people have been counting on that moment by moment. Usually the credit is given to Saint Germain about that information. But Saint Germain has shared with us that the reality is that poverty and limitation and lack of all kinds is a human miscreation. And it is a result of each of our individual consciousness. I know that people want things to be shifted differently, but Saint Germain said that if at this moment we took all of the money in the world and distributed it evenly among all of the people without a shift of consciousness, in 5 years, all the rich people will be rich again and all the poor people will be poor again. So we have to have a shift of consciousness. And the reason that we are so immersed in poverty consciousness is because a lot of the distortion and misinformation, even from the spiritual books and directives, how many times have we heard the Bible says money is the root of all evil? The Bible does not say money is the root of all evil. The Bible says the worship of money is the root of all evil. And we can see tangible demonstration of that right here and right now, manifesting in the outer world. We've also heard things such as Jesus said that a camel can pass through the eye of a needle easier than a rich man can get into heaven. So our interpretation has been, well, of course, a camel can't pass through the eye of a needle, so that means that rich people are not going to be able to get into heaven. But Jesus was very practical, and the parables that he used were that people could understand in that day. And at that time, there was a wall around Jerusalem, and there was an opening in the wall that was called the Eye of the Needle. And in the morning, when the traders would go out to buy their earthly goods, they would pass with their camels through the eye of the needle. They would go out and purchase all the wares and things that they wanted. They'd come back to the eye of the needle, and the camels could not pass through the eye of the needle carrying all of the merchandise and material from the physical world. So they had to take that off their backs and then pass through unencumbered by their earthly possessions. And what Jesus was saying is that as we leave this physical plane, we can't take it with us. So these interpretations have often caused us to think that somehow poverty is a virtue. And we've been through lifetimes where we've even taken vows of poverty. So whether we are consciously participating in our poverty consciousness in this lifetime or not, we have a lot of etheric records and memories that are perpetuated by the fear-based consciousness of lack and limitation. And because we've fallen into such dense frequencies of vibration where we use money for our very survival, then people certainly are terrified and have developed the consciousness that they need to steal or lie or hoard or do everything they can to get as much money as they possibly can. So today, we are on the verge of moving into those frequencies of the new earth, where the distribution of wealth is going to be far more equalized and more harmonious and compassionate and loving and generous than we've ever experienced before. But not because somebody just takes all the money and hands it to us. It's because of our shift of consciousness. The company of heaven has given us powerful and wonderful information about how we release and transmute poverty consciousness and how we reclaim our prosperity, which is the infinite abundance of our Father, Mother, God, which is our divine birthright as sons and daughters of God. So today, please join me with this video. Invoke the flame of illumined truth into your heart flame and listen to these words with an open heart and an open mind. As we ascend into higher and higher frequencies of God's infinite perfection, the areas of our lives that are not reflecting that perfection are becoming more obvious and more painful. This is creating a lot of fear and anxiety. It seems like the most prevalent example of this fact is occurring within the economy and humanity's financial situations. Today I want to share with you some incredibly valuable information that literally changed my life and my financial situation. This information was given to me by the Company of Heaven several decades ago. I am always very grateful for the information that is given to me with the divine intent of helping me and all of the children of God on earth. However, with every opportunity I have been given to share the sacred knowledge from on high, I have told the beings of light that I will only share the information with others if I can prove to myself beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is true. Consequently, I can confirm beyond a shadow of a doubt that the information I am sharing with you today is absolutely true. The application of this information not only changed my life, it has changed the lives of hundreds of thousands of people who have applied this sacred knowledge over these many decades. As you read these words, open your heart and invoke the flame of illumined truth to enlighten you. For many years, the Company of Heaven has been telling us that God's infinite abundance is our divine birthright. This birthright was never revoked by God, no matter how far we fell into our self-inflicted abyss of separation and duality. The manifestation of poverty, lack, and limitation is the result of our own fear-based miscreations and has nothing whatsoever to do with God's will for each of us. On the contrary, God's infinite abundance is available to each and every person right here and right now. All we have to do is reclaim it by simply changing our behavior patterns in ways that will once again open the door to the infinite flow of God's abundance. The Company of Heaven has taught us specifically how to do that. For many years, we at Era of Peace have been sharing the information through our booklet, It is Time for You to Be Financially Free. During the challenging outer world events we are currently experiencing, millions of people are losing their source of income and desperately striving to survive financially. In the midst of this chaos, frightening events are happening, and people are sending forth their heartfelt pleas, asking for help. Through the unified efforts of heaven and earth in this unprecedented time, humanity and all life evolving on this planet are ascending into higher frequencies of light than we have ever experienced. This is allowing the heart-based patterns of the new earth to flow into the consciousness of the masses in new ways. People everywhere are piercing through the illusions, and they are beginning to see with new eyes and hear with new ears. The need of the hour is motivating people in new ways and making them more receptive to the sacred knowledge being shared from on high. For this reason, we at Era of Peace would like to make our booklet, It is Time for You to Be Financially Free, available as an ebook to be downloaded from our website free of charge. This ebook is available in both English and Spanish. I will have links to both of the electronic versions of this ebook posted on the transcript of this vlog. But first, in order to help the I Am presence of every person to prepare them to be receptive to this sacred knowledge, the Company of Heaven has asked us to empower God's divine matrix of infinite abundance and eternal peace. The following invocation has been given to us by the Company of Heaven. The divine matrix for this invocation has been building in momentum for several decades and will be exponentially expanded through the unified efforts of heaven and earth at this time, as we command this light through our I Am presence and the power of the spoken word. Please join the Company of Heaven and the thousands of light workers who are participating with us today. And we begin. God's abundance is the path to eternal peace, and eternal peace is the path to God's abundance. I am my I Am presence, and I am one with the I Am presence of every person on earth. Through the power of my spoken word, I command God's unformed primal light substance from the core of creation to tangibly manifest my heart-based invocations, decrees, and prayers here and now. The golden flame of God's infinite abundance and eternal peace is now flowing into every person's heart flame through Earth's fifth dimensional crystalline solar grid of comprehensive divine love. I breathe in deeply and I become one with this golden light as I enter this secret place of the Most High Living God within my heart. As I enter this sacred space on the holy breath, I am open and receptive to the impulses pouring forth from the heart and mind of God. The hour has at last arrived, and the Divine Fiat has been issued by my Father, Mother, God, for the divinity pulsating within my heart flame to be given full liberty and freedom of expression. My I Am Presence rejoices in this divine edict and will now give me every possible assistance in manifesting the heart-based patterns of God's infinite abundance and eternal peace tangibly in my life and the lives of all humanity. I am now a keeper of the golden flame of abundance and eternal peace in accordance with my divine destiny. My earthly bodies are being brought into perfect balance, and the latent powers encoded within my heart flame are being released. The abilities I have developed over eons of time that will assist me in co-creating the new earth are being brought into a balanced state of true mastery within me. With the divine intervention of the entire company of heaven, the I Am presence of every person is now able to enlighten them to the divine truth that God's infinite abundance and eternal peace are inseparable aspects of God's perfection. One of these divine qualities cannot exist without the other. With this knowing, I realize all is well. These are days of great acceleration due to the unique awakening and the influx of divine consciousness that is flooding the earth. The vibratory action of every facet of life is being stepped up the maximum that cosmic law will allow. The golden flame of abundance and eternal peace is flowing through my heart flame, allowing me to experience the bliss and joy of Earth's ascension into greater levels of perfection. And I now realize I am a golden son of God's abundance and eternal peace, now made manifest and eternally sustained by divine grace. I am a golden son of God's abundance and eternal peace, now manifest and eternally sustained by divine grace. I am a golden son of God's abundance and eternal peace, now manifest and eternally sustained by divine grace. And so it is. Now, this is my prayer of gratitude and acceptance. Through the power of God anchored in my heart and within the hearts of all humanity, I invoke the divine light of gratitude and acceptance. Precious sacred fire, blaze in, through, and around every electron of my being. Flood my consciousness with gratitude and acceptance of God's infinite flow of abundance. Lift me into the realms of truth and bless me with the clear inner knowing that the God supply of all good things is my divine birthright. I relinquish now, in the name of God, all of the power I have ever given to lack and limitation through my thoughts, words, actions, or feelings. I relinquish now, in the name of God, all of the beliefs I have ever had that are based in poverty consciousness. In deep humility and gratitude, I consecrate and dedicate my very life to be the open door through which God's infinite abundance will flow to bless me, my family, friends, co-workers, and all of humanity. As I think, speak, feel, and act, the presence of God within me is expanding God's gift of prosperity to all life evolving on earth. I am an awakened being of light. I gratefully accept God's gift of prosperity and infinite abundance. And so it is. I am, I am, I am. Precious heart, in order to receive this free gift from our hearts to yours, just click on the link for the English or the Spanish version of our free ebook, It is Time for You to Be Financially Free. This ebook is available on our website, eraofpeace.org. Just click on the products and then the ebook link and go directly to your choice. Dear one, the links will also be posted on the transcript for this vlog. Have a blessed week filled with God's abundance and eternal peace. God bless you. I look forward to being with you next week.